Hello, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Dr. Leah Light of the Brainchild Institute, and I have a very important message for parents this year. I know many of you have probably already made your New Year's resolutions, but I wanted to talk to you about something really important, something that will probably change your lives and the lives of your children going forward. So please stay with me for the next few minutes. I want to discuss something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and psychologists have been referring to this pyramid, if you will, for many years, but it still pertains to us today. And the reason why it's so important is it discusses our basic needs as human beings. In today's world, we're so busy, we have so much going on, we have so much technology at our disposal. We're running from one activity to the next, or way overscheduled. Our children are very stressed out. They have a lot of anxiety, many demands on them from school. We're pushing them sometimes way too hard. And there's no time for just a recuperation and for getting to know each other again and having that special bonding time between a parent and a child. The first need on this pyramid here is very basic. It's physiological needs. It's about just having food and water and warmth and shelter, being able to get adequate rest. And most parents are pretty good at seeing that their children get those needs met. The second on the pyramid is about safety. Children need to feel safe. They need to feel secure. They need to feel that mommy and daddy have their backs, that you're looking out for them. When moms and dads are fighting and they're yelling at each other in front of their children, this creates a lot of insecurity for these kids. Even though you think they're so resilient, they're not as resilient as you would expect. And these behaviors are imprinted on them very strongly. And behaviors that are imprinted on children, oftentimes these children grow up and they will manifest those same behaviors. So think about what you say and do in front of your kids and make sure that you're setting, that you're a good role model for them. Moving up, the next stage in this hierarchy of needs is belongingness and love. Children need to have intimate relationships and they need to have friends, but they need their parents more than anything. More than anything, they need your time and attention. And I'm not saying that it's, you can't play a video game with your child or something like that, because, those are fun things to do together as parent and child, but don't let that be the only thing that you do with your child. Take time to really talk to them. Take them outside, go for a walk, spend some time in nature. Nature has a lot of value because it helps us to really appreciate where we are, where we live, and to have respect for the earth and others around us. So take that time. Remember that of all the presents you can possibly give your child, your presence, Presence, is probably the most important one you will ever give them. The next on the pyramid scheme here is, in the Maslow hierarchy of needs, is esteem needs. Children need to feel prestige and a feeling of accomplishment. And remember, parents, your children are not your trophies. You don't have to hang them out there to say, hey, look at my kid. He's on the honor roll. Look at my child. He did this. And, he can play the violin better than your kid. These things are not important. What's really important is the child feels good about themselves and what they can do. Not that they're compared to every other child on the earth. A little healthy competition is not a bad thing. It teaches us to strive to be better. And sometimes it's okay to lose. It's important for us to lose. If everybody always gets a trophy anytime they go out and try something, it's unrealistic in terms of setting the stage for how things are going to be later in life. Like when they're trying to get a job and maybe they do an interview and they don't get that job. They're going to have to learn how to deal with failure too. But they also need to feel good about themselves. And sometimes our kids struggle with certain learning problems. And we want to make sure they have plenty of things in their lives that they can do well. We don't want to just focus on their weaknesses. And then that leads to the top part of the pyramid over here, which is actually self-actualization. And many of us never really get to self-actualization. Many parents still have some of their own childhood issues that are plaguing them and dragging them down and keeping them from being the best parents that they can be. Self-actualization is really reaching your full potential and reaching your greatest creativity and being the best that you can be. And so parents, I urge you, if you do have some old skeletons in your closet, your childhood past may be haunting you as well. And a very important book to read is by Dan Siegel. It's called Parenting from the Inside Out. And you have to take care of yourself and your own needs first. And then you can be the very best parent that you want to be for your children. Thanks for listening. I hope you got some good information out of this. I wish you the very best in 2020. And remember, your presence is the greatest present.